So Unit 2, Lesson 1 was exponent laws. The first exponent law is when multiplying powers with the same base, you add the exponents. So as you can see here, a to the power of b multiplied by a to the power of c equals a to the power of b plus c. The next exponent law is when dividing powers with the same base, you subtract the exponents. So as you can see here, a to the power of b divided by a to the power of c equals a to the power of b minus c. The next exponent law is when a power is raised to another exponent, you multiply the exponents. So as you can see here, a to the power of b is multiplied to the power of c. And when a base is raised to a zero exponent, the result is always 1. So a to the power of 0 is 1. So even if the number was like really high, so 581 to the power of 0, it's going to equal 1. Next, when a base is raised to a negative exponent, you write the reciprocal of the base to a positive exponent. As you can see here, 4 to the power of negative 2 would equal 1 over 4 to the power of 2. So now we're going to do some examples. 4 to the power of 2 divided by 4 to the power of 5. So we know we have to subtract 5 from 2, which gives us 4 to the power of negative 3. Our next one is 2x to the power of negative 2 divided by x to the power of 3. We know we have to flip them because they're negatives, right? And you'll get the answer of 2x. Our next question is 3 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of 5. So we know we have to add the exponents. So 2 plus 5 would give you 7. And that would be your answer there. Here we have a negative exponent. And we know we have to do the reciprocal. So we would get 3 over 2 to the power of 2. Our next question says 128 to the power of 0. And we know whenever the base is raised to a zero exponent, your answer will always be 1. Now our next question, you would start off by eliminating the 2 to the power of 0 because we know that equals 1, so just rewrite it. And our next part would be writing it as with the bracket. And you'll end up with this answer once you finish. Okay. So lesson 2. So lesson 2 was dealing with exponents in the form of 1 over n. So basically, when a is raised to the power of 1 over n, you can simplify it or solve it by putting it in the radical form, where you get n to the n is the root number and then a. So basically what you have to remember is that the bottom number will always be the number on the outside of the radicand and the other one is going to be on the inside. So over here we know 2 will come here and k will be there. On our next one, we know that 256 will be underneath, and then 4 being n would be right there, raised to the power of 3. And then exponents in the form of mn, which is similar like the question we just did. It can be simplified like the last question. So n would be on the outside, a would be under the root, and then it would be raised to m. You could also write it like that, depending on what you prefer. And I'm just going to do another question with it. So over here, 3 is going to be on the outside because the bottom number is always on the outside. And the number on the outside, a will always be there, and it'll be raised to 2. And like I said, the bottom number is always the one that's on the outside. We know x comes underneath and raised to the power of 6. Some things you have to remember is if n is even, then a must be positive. So I'll write that here. So if n is even, then a must be positive. So another way, it must be equal to or greater than 0. And if n is an odd number, then a can be any number. A is all real numbers. And that's about it.